Morning. Namaste. This retreat is an invitation to explore together and to discover a state of being that we usually we overlook. Or our experience as human beings, because human beings are is a social creature, and it seems like often we are losing the balance. We are we are clumsy with the balance of holding our lives, the balance between being part of a society, which means we have a responsibility towards our community, wherever that community may be, and whatever are the needs of this community. Yeah, it can be a community like Pachamama, which is alternative. It can be a country in a certain situation, and it can even be our responsibility towards the Mother Earth. That is as a collective we neglected. Yeah, the lack of balance is what causing us to neglect it, which means we put our personal interest at a higher priority than our collective interest or our responsibility to hold a balance also with nature. It is not for nothing that the part of the world which is in charge of depleting and abusing the earth more than other parts of the world is the part of the world which individuality is very developed there. Yeah, it is the Western world. It is the world where the part of the world where democracy is an advanced state and is more advanced in science and is more rich because we take more, and it is part of the world where is encouraging us to consume more, to achieve more. And this has a toll. Yeah? And the toll is not something that often is visible around us, but suddenly comes a global crisis and nature catastrophes, and we start to understand that each one of us is contributing a drop to this ocean of disaster that we are creating. Sometimes the the imbalance is going the other way around. When we are neglecting the free thinking, the individuality, and we are focusing on the collective needs or the social needs, and then what happens is that the society is becoming stagnant or repressing the colorfulness of life. And a lot of this lifestyle has collapsed some decades ago, when the communist world fell apart. But if in the first half of the 20th century, this lifestyle became very dominant in our world, fascism and communism, this strong imbalance has created a strong urge, a need to develop individualism, free thinking, and actually the post-World War, the scars of the World War, of the fascist wave that passed over the clouds of Europe and Asia, is what gave birth to such a rebelling movement, like what happened in the 60s, where people really looked to break free. And many social patterns has been shattered and smashed, and the thing that was repressed the most, sexuality, came into life. The slogan was "Make love, not war." Yeah. And so we played between these two aspects: how to remain a social creature and hold our responsibility to the community and to the earth, yet how not to fall into one color, one way of thinking. And look now what's happening in the Arab world. The Arab Spring is when suddenly people have a way, a tool to express their opinions. The whole structure is collapsing. So there is this social control that we, as people who come from so-called free societies, are resenting and are rebelling against this kind of social control. We want to minimize this influence. Sometimes we are spilling the baby with the water, yeah, by losing responsibility for what we should hold together. So there is the collective, there is the individual thinking. Neither of those aspects of life are going to be of much service here. They will be rewarded and nourished by what is about to happen here. When we go into this silent prayer for 1 week, of course our community, Pachamama, will be refreshed, will be crystallized and purified because we meet in that space together. Of course, your uniqueness and individual free thinking will be nourished by it as well, because you take a perspective of a distance, of silence, to look at yourself, to reset some energy flows that got stuck in some loops of patterns, and you'll find ways to open these loops, so this energy flow can evolve again. Yeah? But the silence that we will look for here, the silence that we will bathe in, does not belong to you as human beings. You will not find silence. When that will happen, you will become that silence. When you realize freedom, it is not that you attain freedom and you can put it in the bank of your individual achievement. I am free. I have found freedom. I am awakened. It is not so. When one realizes freedom, one disappears, dissolves. You realize that you are freedom itself. There is a conscious and aware looking inwards, and what is being discovered is emptiness. Consciousness that is aware of itself. Consciousness that is aware of its ageless, faceless, characterless presence. This is why this journey into realizing silence, the journey into realizing the divine, is a threat when we are attached to the self, to the reality as we know it. It is a threat because if in communism or fascism, society is in the center of existence, and in individuality, the self is the center of existence, and nobody will tell me what to do, and I'm free, and I have my own opinion, and I have my own uniqueness. In religiousness, it is not about society or about the self. It is about realizing the wholeness. There is no separation. Only God is. It is, this realization is like the known metaphor that when the drop is touching the ocean, it disappears and becomes one with it. The drop does no longer have personality or identity of its own. Once you realize your true nature, there's nobody to claim it. There's nobody to bargain, to brag about it. You are no more. Only that is. Freedom is not of the self. It is from the self.